Absolutely, no question. Or what do you remember, if there's one memory, when I mentioned names of a couple of guys to you, just give me a quick little synopsis. Bill Riley.
Yeah.
What do you, just give me a couple of words on Bill Riley.
Well, I thought that I didn't know Bill Riley when I got to Moncton, but I got to know him pretty quickly, and I sort of realized that this guy could be a pretty good leader, And I like his competitiveness, I like his character, and I like the way he called spade,
Yeah.
Him and I used to have some pretty good talks.
Yeah, you did.
And I kept in contact with him for a long time after. I remember going down to see him when he was coaching Tier 2 down there, and I ended up going down there in that area, and I dropped in and watched him with his team and that. I think that he was a real big part of that Moncton franchise that year.
Mike Kazicki.
They told me that we were going to get a guy that nobody wanted, and I was, I don't know that guy either, but I'll tell you, I don't think we'd have won without Mike Kazicki, and I'll tell you something, that guy never gave us an ounce of problems.
Never did give you a problem. Bob Pulford.
Bob Pulford? Well, I'll tell you one thing that Bob told me when he hired me. He says, you're going to be hired to be fired. He says, that's what happens to all coaches, and that was fine. I have nothing bad to say about Bob Pulford. I'm sure the decision of made to let me go was not just his alone. I'm sure that there's other people involved, but they gave me a chance in Chicago, him and Jack Davidson, and I've always appreciated it, and I accepted their decision that they wanted to make a change if it was going to help their hockey club.
Steve Larmer.
Steve Larmer, to me, was the most pure goal scorer that I'd seen in a long time, and he had the quickest release. And I remember watching him play, and I said to somebody, I forget who, you don't realize how quick that guy is when he starts skating. And he had that forward.
I don't know if, Orval, I don't know if people remember this, but Larmer was cut from the team in Chicago his rookie year, the year that he went on and won Calder Cup.
Yeah.
They had him cut, and you stepped in and said, you know what, I know this guy, I know how he plays, and I know what he can do. And you went to bat for him, and we talked about that in my book, Been There, Done That. If it was not for Orval Tessier, Steve Larmer's career would never got off the ground.
Well, I saw how he played the year before, and the guys in Chicago didn't see him that often, so you got to take that. And then normally in those days, there's not too many rookies came up and played.
No.
But we played about 8 of them that year.
That's right.
And I knew that, you get the puck to Steve, he knows what to do with it. And so I thought that him and Savard together would be ideal, but then I needed somebody on the left side to sort of look after things for them. And then Secor turns around and becomes a 50-goal scorer playing on the left side. So, it's not a stroke of genius. It's just knowing the players that I had, knowing Dennis Savard from playing junior against me when I was in Cornwall, he was in Montreal, and knowing the toughness that Secor had, I thought he was a natural to try those guys, and we never looked back after that. Steve's career is just outstanding.
Okay, last but not least, you always said I was one of your top 3 players, your favorite players. Steve Ludzik.
Steve Ludzik? Well, Steve Ludzik to me was a little bit of the same type of character as Bill Riley as far as a competitor was concerned. I thought that what I liked about you is that the toughness that you showed and the determination that you showed on the ice and the character that you were off the ice. I think, I'm not here to throw bouquets at anybody, but I can tell you one thing. You could play on my team any place, anytime, anywhere. You and Larms to me were just like the dynamic duo, and I've always appreciated what you guys did for me too, because without some of you guys, I'd have never made it up there either.
Yeah, or if we would never made it without you, and I always say this, I ended my book saying that I had a strong liking to you, developed it over the course of that first year in Moncton and then our years in Chicago. You were born the exact same day, exact same year as my father, and you're a father figure to me and to a lot of guys. I want to thank you for being my guest, and I'm going to mail you a copy of Steve Ludzik, Been There, Done That. I love you, Orv. Take care of yourself, pal.
Thanks.
All right, buddy.